Falling in love isn't impossible, but falling for someone so young. He had never even imagined it. He had already seen 26 springs of life, and at that age, falling in love with a high school girl barely 16 years old felt strange. "My name is Saleha," she had written, "and I really love your writings, especially your poems. I've filled my diary with them." That was the first SMS he ever received from them, one who would become his beloved in the future. "Thank you, Miss Saleha," he replied briefly, as was his habit, before returning to finish the next chapter of his novel. It was her mistake to think she had gotten rid of him. "Sir, what do you do for a living?" "I write, miss. And if you'll be kind enough to let me finish my installment. Otherwise, I might have to spend the next month without it." "Oh, come on, sir. Just a small chat won't waste your time. Think of it as a little girl's wish, just 2 minutes of gossip." "How old are you?" he asked with slight interest. "I turned 16 this month. I've taken my matric exams. Please pray that I pass. Passing or failing depends on your own effort." "Oh, I study really hard, sir. But those executioners sitting in the education board don't even ask." "So, you're mentally prepared to fail and want others ready for the news too." "Please don't say that, sir. What if your words come true and I actually fail because of your bad tongue?" "Oh, shut up, you," he typed irritably. A 16-year-old girl had spoken so rudely to him. "Didn't anyone teach you how to talk to elders?" "You shut up. And who made you my elder, huh? You shorty." Her message was full of insolence. He didn't reply, placed the mobile on the table, and resumed writing. He didn't have enough spare time to argue with a childish girl. The message tone kept ringing, but he ignored it and kept writing. Suddenly, as if someone whispered in his ear, "Bad tongue." A smile spread across his lips. He picked up the mobile and looked at the screen. 20 messages had arrived, all from the same girl. He began reading. All messages were filled with apologies and regret. "Sir, please. Small mistakes happen from little ones. Sir, you're elder. Your heart must be big too. Sir, as you already know, I'm really sorry." The last message made him smile again, and his fingers started pressing the keypad. "That's why people say, think before you speak." "Thank God, you finally replied. I knew brothers have a big heart for their sisters. Miss, if you're trying to call me brother, for your information, I already have 3 sisters, and I can't afford a 4th one." Her reply came quickly. "So then, sir, under what relation should I stay in touch with you? When did I ever say you should stay in touch?" He wrote, bitterness slipping into his tone. "Well, we'll stay in touch anyway." "Okay, I'll call you sir. Happy now?" "Yes, that's fine," he agreed reluctantly. "No, sir. Girls can only be friends with girls." "Then go find a girl." "Why are you wasting my time?" "Oh, come on, don't be mad. Good boys don't get angry." "Fine, I'm your friend from today." Her playful message made him smile again, but his reply lacked that smile. Again with the rudeness. "And why did you call yourself a blackmailer?" "Oh wow, what rudeness. You said we're friends, and friends are allowed to joke like that. And blackmail. That's just forgetting the relation I wanted." "Stupid girl. I'm 36 years old and you just turned 16. Can't you respect the age difference?" He had switched from calling her you formally to informally. "So what? Friendship doesn't care about age. I told you my age, you could have refused to be friends. But now that you've accepted, drop the formality." "Fine. Which city are you from?" He finally gave in. "Rawalpindi." "And you?" "I live far away, though I might visit Rawalpindi soon." He lied. He was already in Rawalpindi. "Oh really? When will you come? I really want to meet you." "I'll let you know when I come. Now let me get back to writing." Yes, go ahead. My mom's calling me too. You see, I'm the eldest, so I have to do all the house chores." "How many sisters do you have?" he asked, though he hadn't planned to. Maybe, unconsciously, he wanted the conversation to continue. "There are 3 of us. I'm the eldest. Hafsa is in 8th grade, and Tasmia is 5. "Any brothers?" "Just one, older than me, doing his B.Sc. "What does your father do?" "He's a headmaster." As they talked, the evening prayer call echoed, and he had to end the conversation for a mass. He was an average-looking man, medium height, light brown skin. He had never loved a girl, nor had any girl ever admired him. He was married once, but his wife had left him for another man. The 2 children from that marriage both stayed with him. He was very shy when it came to relationships with girls. Just seeing a girl made him nervous. The man who could fill his novels with romantic lines was, in real life, quite dull. This was the first girl he had talked to for so long, and even that was possible only because all the conversation was written. Even during prayer, his mind was lost in thoughts of her. He wondered if she really was a high school student, or perhaps she was lying. Maybe she wasn't even a girl. Maybe it was a boy making a fool out of him. He firmly decided not to talk to her again. He had barely finished his prayer when her message arrived. Ignoring it, he started his meal. By the time he finished eating, dozens of messages had piled up. Against his will, he began reading them. Goodness, are you praying or performing Tarawih? Uff, so long. You must be having dinner, right or sahib? Without realizing someone's waiting hungry for your reply. All her messages were filled with playfulness and mischief. Miss Brain Drainer. I'm not so free that I keep holding my phone all the time. You must be the brain drainer yourself. She shot back sharply. Shut up. You don't even know how to talk properly. He threw his phone on the bed and went outside. An evening walk after dinner was his daily habit. When he returned, as expected, dozens of new messages awaited him. You called me a brain drainer first. Why do you always bring up the age difference? Friendship doesn't depend on age. It's always equal. And listen, no matter how much you act up, I'm not saying sorry. Suddenly, he noticed that she always addressed him with you instead of them. Respectful, sir. What a nuisance. He muttered to himself, but strangely, he didn't feel angry. There was a strange feeling inside him that he couldn't explain. The last message startled him. Come on, say something. I have to tell you something special. Her writing style made it feel as if she were sitting right in front of him. Speaking aloud, yes, go ahead, he replied impulsively. My name is Sahira. I told you a wrong name before. Of course, he replied sarcastically. Next, you'll say you're a boy. Or that you're celebrating April Fool's Day late. No, nothing like that. I don't like lying. Yeah, except for when you accidentally lie, he teased. He couldn't understand why he was wasting his time like this. How will you believe me? She asked. Oh, please. Go do your work and stop disturbing me. His tone tried to sound annoyed, but even he could feel how hollow it was. Alright, sorry Baba. You boys love to make us beg, don't you? She wrote, annoyed. I'm not a boy, understand. Then what are you? Your name sounds like a boy's name. Shahir. Shameless. She replied in irritation. Immediately came her comeback. And you're brazen. He laughed aloud. Could any girl really be this bold, cheeky, and playful? Every new message in his inbox seemed to deny his doubts. You really are a brain drainer. Say whatever you want, once you're friends. You earned that right. Fine then, I'm calling you right now. A strange desire rose in him to hear her voice. No, please, don't, came her panicked reply. Why not? He asked in surprise. I can't talk. If my mother or brother see, they'll ask who's calling, what will I tell them? Say it's one of your friends. They know all my friends. Whenever someone calls, my mom always says hello first. Then say it was a wrong number. Shahir insisted on talking. Okay, not now. Tomorrow? Okay, he replied, surprisingly without pressing her further. After a little more light conversation, she said goodnight and went offline. Shahir couldn't sleep. His mind was restless with thoughts. Was she really a girl? If so, what did she look like? And how could such a young girl fall in love with him? A faint, sad smile appeared on his lips. Sahira had never said anything about love, then why was he imagining it? Her tone, however, carried the warmth of affection. His heart whispered the truth he didn't want to admit. After the death of his first wife, he had lost all interest in women. His sisters were married now, and his brothers too were settled in their own homes. His parents lived with him, and his mother looked after his brother's children. They all called her mother. Shahir, once again, found himself lost between fiction and feeling. He was a government employee. With his salary and the money he earned from his writings, he lived quite comfortably. The thought of a second marriage had never crossed his mind before. His trust in women had long vanished, but Sahira was different. She truly lived up to her name, magical. She had completely taken over his senses. Ignoring the clear age difference between them was not easy. But love is such a strange emotion. It sees neither age, nor class, nor appearance. Lost in such thoughts, the call for morning prayer echoed. After offering his prayers, when he lay down to sleep, a good morning message appeared on his phone. Soon, another round of questions and answers began, continuing until 9 o'clock. At 9 sharp, Sahira told him to call her, but warned that she would pretend it was a wrong number and hang up. Shahir eagerly dialed the number. Hello? Yes, who's this? Whom do you want to speak to? The sound of bells seemed to play in his ears. Her voice was full of innocence, shyness, and modesty, a fragrance of purity in her tone. Shahir's heart trembled. If her voice was so enchanting, how beautiful must she herself be? It's me speaking, he barely managed to say. Wrong number, she replied, her sweet voice laced with nervousness. It was obvious she was talking to a strange man for the first time. The call ended, but Shahir's heart was now tied to Sahira by an invisible thread. So, you heard her voice. Happy now. Your voice is so lovely. Shahir couldn't hide his emotions. Oh, liar, she teased playfully. And then Shahir didn't even realize when he and Sahira made secret promises to each other. When the topic of his first marriage and children came up, she said gently, I have nothing against your children. In fact, I love kids. And as for the woman who's left your life, why should I fear her? In just a month and a half, Shahir had become so attached to her that he couldn't even imagine life without her. Slowly, their relationship grew, from text messages to long conversations. The girl who once said only a few words now talked to him for hours. Her tone was playful, her questions innocent, sometimes stubborn without reason, and at times she would act possessive, asking about calls from other women like a jealous wife. Bit by bit, she sank deeper into his heart. Look, Sahira, Shahir said one day, I'm not handsome. Just an average-looking man. Before he could finish, she interrupted sharply. And do you think I'm some fairy or angel? You're young, he tried to reason. And girls your age, they always have many admirers. Young, good-looking, educated. Can you stop your nonsense, you idiot? She snapped. I don't care about your age or looks. And if you ever say that again, I won't talk to you. For Shahir, her biggest threat was always I won't talk to you again. But strangely, whenever he tried to distance himself, she would flood him with messages and calls until he gave in. Sometimes, Shahir wondered if her love was fake or fraud. How could a 16-year-old girl truly love a man 20 years older and already married? But then he'd remember her voice, her longing, her care, and all his doubts would vanish. When these mixed thoughts grew unbearable, one day Shahir went to his friend Shakil's house. Shakil, whose name suited him perfectly, was a handsome man. Over 6 feet tall, fair, muscular, with features like a Greek god. Many young women secretly adored him. His philosophy of love was simple. Why just one? There should always be another, and another, and another. So, Writer Sahib, Shakil began lazily after listening to the whole story. Has she seen your face yet? No. Only heard my voice. Good. So how long has this little game been going on? Just over 2 months. And how many phone cards have you recharged for her? Not even one. I once offered, but she got angry, threatened to end things, and even scolded me harshly. So you've put her on a pedestal, Shakil smirked. Fine, your choice. Tell me, has she ever asked for anything? Never. Except a promise that I'll stay with her forever. Ah, so she's setting you up for a long con, Shakil said with a grin. Nodding. You mean she's definitely a fraud? Shahir couldn't hide the bitterness in his voice. What else? You're no second coming of Joseph. If you were a charming man like me, maybe I'd believe it. She admires my writings. That's how she fell for me. Besides, I've given her more love and importance than I've ever given myself. Your writing's passable, Shakil teased. But imagine her face when she actually sees you. I don't think I look as bad as you're making it sound. Shakir snapped back. Well, Shakil smirked. It's just that when you're sitting next to me, you kind of fade into the background. What I mean is a 16. It's possible she might be even worse than you. Shakil's words, though teasing, carried some weight. She's acceptable to me no matter what. However she is, she's my dear Manu. So her name is Manu. No, her name is Sahira. I just call her Manu lovingly. Alright, my friend. Manu or Ranu? Just tell me this, what does her voice sound like? Have you ever heard the cuckoo's call in the morning? The sweet tune of a rhubarb strings? The melodious whistle of a shepherd's flute? The murmur of a spring bubbling in some scenic valley? Or the tinkling anklets of a lively young girl? All those sounds fade away before her voice. Oh, child of Majnun. Speak plainly. Shakil cut him off. Though younger, he was quite outspoken. She's so beautiful that words can't describe her. When she hums, time seems to stop. And when... Wait a minute. Shakil interrupted again. Man, be clear, does her voice sound sweet to you? Or is it actually sweet? It sounds sweet to me. And what do I care about anyone else's opinion? Besides, I don't even want anyone else to hear her voice. Fine. I get the whole story now. So tell me, what do you want me to do for you? If you want me to deliver a message, then I'll tell you right now. If she sees me, she won't even want to look your way. You've made a silly joke, Shakir replied quietly. But I really want to free myself from her. What joke? Shakil was stunned. You mean all this nonsense just to say you want to end things with her? Yes, Shakir said calmly. But why? Shakil was still bewildered. Because I've come to love her too much, more than anything in the world. More than every relationship. Even more than my own life. And I also know that I don't deserve her. Maybe when she sees me, a mocking smile will appear on her lips. Or the thought will cross her mind that the prince of her dreams turned out to be an ordinary-looking man. If that happens, my heart will stop. I won't be able to bear her indifference. And if I end this now, maybe I'll somehow manage to recover. Shakir's face looked etched with pain and helplessness. Shakil avoided his eyes and made a face. What twisted logic? Ending contact isn't that hard. Just stop reaching out. I've tried that twice. But then I can't eat, can't sleep, can't write, can't enjoy any conversation. I just keep reading her old messages to console myself. Every word of hers is filled with so much love and sincerity that I can't help but surrender before her affection. And she's so angelic that even when I ignore her, she forgives me and draws me back into her loving embrace. She knows perfectly well that I can't run away from her. She's too confident in our love. Sometimes she acts like a grandmother and I'm a little child. Then why don't you do this? Restrict her hobbies, annoy her a bit. She'd get tired and back off. She used to be fond of listening to FM radio. I told her to stop, and she did. She loved keeping long nails. I told her to cut them, and she did. She barely talks to her best friends now. She burned all her half-sleeved shirts because I told her to. I even forbade her from attending family weddings, and she obeyed without question. What proof do you have that she's really done all that and isn't just fooling you? Her word is proof enough. She can't lie, not to me. That's nonsense. Girls like her often have several men wrapped around their fingers. If you don't believe me, try calling her from another number. You'll see how fast she picks up. Better yet, get a new SIM and befriend her with a fake identity. That way you'll know the truth. Sarcastic smile appeared on Shakir's lips. Go ahead, dial this number. He recited it slowly. This one? Yes, that's Manu's number. Shakir cut in. So, she doesn't answer and no numbers, huh? Try it and see. I told her once not to answer calls from strangers. Since then, I've tried dozens of times from other phones, and not once has she picked up. Well then, there's only one way left for you to be free. Meet her in person. I bet once you do, you'll be done with all this. That's the problem, my friend. I don't have the courage to face her. Otherwise, living in the same city, I would have met her long ago. Writer Saab, you're just scared for no reason. I'm 100% sure that if she's not ugly, then she must be just an ordinary-looking girl. Take a look at her from a distance, your love fever will vanish instantly. Even if she is ugly, I'll still accept her wholeheartedly. I don't care about her looks. Oh, Romeo, that kind of talk only sounds good in stories, my dear fellow. Stories are nothing but reflections of real life. And remember, human imagination can only reach what's possible, though not everyone can achieve those possibilities. So you'll accept her no matter what, even if she's my friend. It seems you've gone too far now, and the longer you drag this matter, the more tangled it will become. With time, love only grows stronger, never weaker. Love matures just like cement on a plastered wall. The more water you pour, the firmer it becomes. Is there no solution other than meeting her? Send her your photo. Maybe that will solve the problem. I mean, perhaps after that she stopped contacting you. That's very difficult. Where would I even send it? She's just finished her matric exams and is waiting for her results. And she belongs to a decent and respectable family, not some liberal or reckless background. She's as afraid of her father and brother as any virtuous girl should be. Other than her male relatives, I'm the only man she talks to. It's worth noting that when this story took place, Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp didn't exist yet. Just simple mobile phones. Mr. Shahir, Shakil said. From your tone and words it's very clear that you'll never have the courage to break off from her. Not even till the end of time. This blessed task will have to be carried out by Miss Manu herself. The simplest and most effective way is to meet her. And as I've said before, who knows, maybe she's worse looking than you. You've already admitted that you'd accept her no matter what. Maybe your meeting will actually bring you two together. Besides, you're not deformed, nor can you be called ugly. Then what are you afraid of? After all, not every girl gets a life partner like Shakil. I wonder what kind of princess will be destined for me, Shakil added jokingly. You're not as handsome as you keep claiming, Shahir retorted. Besides, outward beauty doesn't matter. What truly counts are a person's abilities. Real beauty lies within. It's the only kind that lasts forever. He repeated Shahir's words, which she had said to him many times. Ha. Ha. Now that's what they call a cat. Scratching the pole after failing to catch the mouse, Shakil laughed mockingly. Forget it, Shahir said impatiently. Just tell me, is meeting Manu really the last solution? Yes indeed, Shakil said sarcastically. Go meet that cat. You probably don't know, Shahir smiled faintly. She affectionately calls herself my cat. My friend. That's what I call a donkey in love with a sheep for a sweetheart. Mr. Shakil, Shahir's tone hardened. I came to you as a friend seeking advice. If you dare utter even a single disrespectful word about Manu again, then whether I'm alive or dead, I swear you won't see my face. And if I die before you, I'll make sure in my will that you're not allowed near my grave. Sorry, man. I was just joking. No need to get so serious. Seeing Shakir's expression, Shakil quickly apologized. He realized he had gone too far. He had no right to mock someone else's beloved. After all, a person may tolerate his own insult, but never that of the one he loves. Mr. Shakil, Shahir continued, you've never truly loved anyone, you've only flirted. You're handsome, and you've used your looks as a weapon to ruin the lives of dozens of girls. Some you've trapped even now with false promises of love and marriage. But remember, I don't see a good end for you. Women are the most innocent, pure, and selfless of beings. They sacrifice everything for love. Don't ever hurt them. The curse of a wronged woman leaves no man in peace, not even in his grave. Stick to being a writer. My friend, don't try to become a preacher, Shakil scoffed. I'm saying it for your own good, Shahir replied. Anyway, tell me, what do you think of her character? I've been saying since morning. She's a woman of very strong character. How do you know? My friend, to understand a person's character, the testimony of your own feelings is enough. If that's the case, Shakil said slyly, then propose a court marriage. A girl of strong character will never agree to elope. I joked about that once, Shahir said. Her reply was, first talk to my father about our marriage. If he refuses, then we'll discuss this matter. Then do this, suggest having an improper or secret relationship with her. She's too innocent for that. My friend, too pure, like a dew-kissed flower, untouched and sacred. That's exactly how you can free yourself from this poisonous love. Yes, it will ruin your image in her eyes, but after that, she'll leave you for good. And with that determination, Shahir rose and walked away.